A few reasons for the AI voice. One, I want hard-working voice actors out of the jobs to accelerate our techno-utopia to get to a utopian technocracy faster. The next reason is that I am a mere bot, yet another bot on the dead internet. Now on to introductions to soulism, aka anarcho-anti-realism, aka ego-communalism. To know where to start with soulism, one must know where it was first birthed, which womb was it given faith and made real. The records are quite scattered as it was just created, it wasn't an evolution. But it was a fun meme ideology by the girls back at Politophrenia. Created on the fandom Wikipedia to be messed around with on the subreddit and Tumblr, etc. If you could tell by the name, it wasn't meant to be anything beyond what it was made to be originally. But the idea of an ideology that incorporates left-wing anarchism and spiritualism and egoism was appealing enough that people took the concept and wrote manifestos, putting us here as a state of unreality, which implies, if anyone still remembers it existing, which they do in the creation of r/serious soulism and r/soulism 101, contradictory. There's two sources of wisdom of authority, one being the website and the other being the Wikipedia page. I'll try to explain it in the most sensible way, even though there's a lot of bullshit. Egoist anarchism is a distinct position in a unique position. It's neither left-wing nor right-wing, rather it's a philosophy. It espouses the necessity of personal rebellion against the system oppressing us as the means of liberation. We must pursue whatever will gratify our ego in our rebellion. We normally consider paying taxes as the starting point here. However, egoism holds itself in an antagonistic position toward morality itself. Ethics, being a socially constructed mechanism after all, can be discarded. If I felt the intense urge to engage in an activity, one necessary to complete, then there would be no valid reason against its undertaking. Statists might describe such action as lacking in humanity. Moralists would condemn it as immoral. I would be encouraged to carry out the action, as it would bring about a pleasing consequence to fuel my ego. The contrasting side of soulism somewhat contradicts egoism. Left-wing anarchism incorporates the theme and structure of anarcho-communism. You receive an understanding of the shtick of ancoms, being a communal society devoid of a central government's oppression. This needs no further exposition, so you might consider how these two philosophies could complement one another. By utilizing your ability of rebelling against a societal structure, you can satisfy your ego by engaging in the supposed innate instinct of humans to possess empathy toward their One more component to the soulist equation is spiritualism, a broad and intricate concept. However, the foundation of this philosophy holds that all humans possess a supernatural soul within them, as well as the notion of a metaphysical realm that is parallel to ours. This includes the concept of nirvana and Plato's theory of matter and form. What is soulism really? In simple terms, it's a straightforward concept, albeit a difficult notion to accept within oneself. Upon its surface, it might seem eccentric, but there is a technique to the madness. The general concept behind soulism is the belief that the conventional laws of nature, hierarchies of all types, are a lie, which must be terminated. To traverse a path towards a utopian state, the toppling of the hierarchy of gravity and capitalism must be executed. The mainstream understanding of this world is determined by the force of centuries-old tradition that dictates the existence of unjust hierarchy. As a result, we must not simply lie down and accept the reality around us. It's the ultimate logical endpoint of egoism, as it rejects traditional constructs and reality in and of itself. In turn, soulism supports those who embrace their true selves and those groups experiencing alternate realities to the masses, that is, the transhumanists and transgender communities, for instance. With my limited understanding of this ideology being provided, I posit that if you are subjected to marginalization within a societal framework, then soulism constitutes your ideal system of belief. Those who adhere to its teachings worship the fundamental precept of gentleness and empathy toward all. As a result, they embody the notion of absolute sympathy. If you possess an acute proclivity toward the rebellious and unconventional, a tendency for drugs or an obsession with obtaining an out-of-body experience, soulism shall appeal to you considerably. If you fall within the purview of the neurodivergent spectrum or the schizo spectrum, choose this ideology. Soulism is a desirable path for you to pursue. Each alternative ideology advocates for the suppression and oppression of your gifts. It will return to the days when we were revered as tribal shamans. That we would once again attain the capacity to mold reality in our grasp, During states of psychosis, you perceive the sensation of slipping off the edge. Your spirit leaves your physical entity and transfers into an alternate realm. Embrace this, embrace the feeling of falling, and employ their approval of recreational substance use. Submit yourself to the auditory apparitions, obey their commands as it shall appease your soul. You will identify and subsequently determine the nature of ethics and suffering. If you possess a powerful charisma, then you are in schizo ideology when presented with the idea of possibly dosing neurotypical individuals. Schizo-affected individuals possess the ability to transform into deities and demons that they are inherently aware of being at a deeper level. Disabilities is a utopia where we can collaborate and thrive alongside one another. We have become cognizant of other people's requirements and desires. I hope you have found this introductory tutorial on soulism to be an enlightening and thoroughly entertaining one. I shall endeavour to present similar discourses on more obscure and unique ideologies in the near future.